All right, Rachel, we're going to take a look at all 4 strokes. We're going to look at 3 different angles. We're going to look at it, a top angle, a side angle underwater, and then also a head-on shot underwater, starting with your butterfly. First thing I see on that first stroke is that dropping of the elbows. We want to make sure their hands, forearms, and to our mid-biceps are all pushing back towards the bottom of your feet. The first thing I see is you dropping your elbows down, which pushes you up, which makes it a little bit easier to be up and down, but it's not necessarily moving forward. With the kick, what I see is your kick is coming from your knees down. If you watch your hips, when you should be pressing your chest down and driving the hips, you're not getting that nice flow, that flowing, the kick starting from your chest, going down through the hips, down to the knees. We breathe right at the beginning of the stroke. Right now you're breathing, your head comes out of the water when you're in mid-stroke. You want to start that breath as you start your pull, so you're breathing, and then when your arms come out, your head's down. See how when you take your breath, your arms are halfway already through the pull. So we want to set that up a lot earlier. Let's go ahead and take a look at the underwater on the side. The first thing we're going to see here is that dropping of the elbows. I can tell right away. They're pushing down on the water. You want to lift those elbows up so you're pressing back. You want to feel like you're swimming downhill with that forward butterfly. Really pick the elbows up, drive the shoulders forward, press that chest down. If you look at your chest right now, see how when your arms go forward, you're not using the power of those big muscles, the body, to allow yourself to press down and get a nice flow. As your arms go forward, your body stays flat. So when you extend here, you're not pressing the chest down. So as you extend forward, press that chest down, allowing your body to go through a lot more flow rather than that having to push yourself down in the water in order to get up and down. We want to lean forward and press that forward. As you see as your kick there, we want to see a big boom kick and then a decent kick. Again, if you watch your kick, it's knees down. See how your knees are bent like that. You want that flow, that rhythm, like a whip that kind of flies through there. A lot more dolphin. Okay, now we're head-on shot. Now what we look for in this head-on shot is really the pressing of the chest. And you'll find as you go forward here, you're driving the hands down, but you're not allowing the chest to come down as well. So it's staying really flat. You really want to bury that chin, press that chest, allow yourself to go through, rather than just reach out. Also, what you can see is that as you drop your elbows, you can see how your hands kind of stay flat, pushing straight down, rather than seeing the back or the front part of your arms as you pull yourself forward. Again, butterfly should be swimming in a downhill, leaning forward type flow. We never want to feel like we're always up and down. We want to really rotate ourselves in the right direction to move ourselves forward rather than up and down. Finally, to go and kind of reiterate on the breath, as you can see your hands here, as you go forward and start your pull right here, that's when you should be breathing. So as you come here, you're lifting the head. You want to keep that head down and breathe with that head down. Good job on the butterfly. Again, try to work on that flow. Allow yourself to extend out a little bit more. Let's move on to your backstroke. Okay, looking at this angle, the first thing I see is again, kick. We want to kick from the hips. I still see a really focus on just driving the legs. We want to make sure you kick through. We talked about kicking past your knees. A little bit bigger kick, driving more from your hips. Backstroke is really heavily focusing on kick. Now with the stroke, we talked about also making sure that we're rotating more. Backstroke is rarely ever swum on your back. You want to really focus on rotating that hip, leading with the hip, allowing yourself to rotate a little bit more. It looks like you're trying to place that hand in back there. Let the rotation do all that. Want to lean back a little bit more with your head, making sure that you're kind of like you're laying on the bed without a pillow, laying back, and then allow the big muscles to do the work. Allow that rotation of the body to do the work, rather than trying to do everything with your hands and your legs. Now going to the underwater. One thing I look at here is your elbows. Pretty good job of pressing back. We want our hands mid to forearm to mid bicep all pressing back, which you do a pretty good job. I'd like to see a little bit more rotation, allowing your hips to be a little bit higher on the surface, and that can be easily done with a little bit more powerful kick coming from the hips. But again, a good stroke. Just allow yourself to dig a little deep. The more you rotate, the deeper you'll be able to catch the water. The water deeper will be able to hold onto it more and press yourself through. If we watch the bubbles, really good on the left arm, but if we look past and look at the right arm, you see you're dragging a lot of air in, and we want to make sure that we rotate, allow those bubbles to dissipate, so we're holding on to a lot more water rather than just sliding our hands through quickly and pulling that air down. We really want to allow ourselves to rotate, stretch it out, and lean back a little bit more. You see your angle of your body kind of in an upright position. We want to be flat like lying on a bed. Okay, and this one, again, we look at the front end shot because we want to see rotation. And you have about a quarter rotation. We want to try to get about halfway. We want to try to get as much as we can on our side to rotate with power, because the more you rotate, the more power you're going to be able to create to go to the other side. And so we really want to allow ourselves to rotate very well and lock that head position. If you look throughout all of these swims, your head's constantly moving, whether you're chin down or chin up or leaning back. Try to lock yourself in a position, let the body rotate around the center as if you are, a pole running right straight through you from your head to your feet. All your body's allowed to do is rotate from side to side. Okay? Pretty good job on the backstroke. Clean up those little things and it'll be much better. Moving on to breaststroke. Okay, the first thing I see is we'll look at the elbows. Elbows are coming back way too far. We want to have that half breaststroke arms in front, and then just like on the butterfly, when you extend forward, press that chest and go downhill. Allow yourself to really press and drive yourself forward. You have a tendency to want to kind of let the arms just constantly go on the stroke. Glide and extend forward, wait for those feet to finish before taking that next stroke. So if you watch where your hands are here, your hands are out wide by the time you're finished your feet. Hold on to that stroke, allow yourself to glide, allow yourself to press forward, and really get as much as you can out of each and every stroke. As you press that chest, that'll allow the hips to ride, so you'll be able to ride over the top of the water a little bit better, allowing your breaststroke to flow. Right now you're kind of keeping those hands deep, and you're moving the water forward and kind of pushing yourself through the water. I'd rather see you kind of have that downhill, over the top kind of flow, similar to a butterfly stroke with a good pressing of that chest. Get the most out of every stroke. Press that chest, extend yourself forward. Okay. And now this underwater side shot. Again, you can look at the first thing to look at is those elbows. You see those elbows going so far back that it's actually to your mid-back. The elbows should stay in front of it, or stay right down from the shoulders, stay right in front. Half breaststroke arms allow a lot quicker recovery, allow you a lot more time up front to stretch and glide and press that chest to move yourself forward. But bringing your arms back here, watch what happens. There's a pause in your stroke. As you pull yourself back, there's a pause right there before you move yourself forward. Let your kick drive yourself downward and forward by pressing your chest and really get yourself a lot more flow and a lot more dolphin movement out of your breaststroke. When you breathe, we want to make sure we're breathing forward. Hands split up, that's when you start on your breath. You get a quick breath and then put yourself forward. Part of your long breath comes from because your stroke is coming back so far, so you have a lot more time to breathe, it's not necessarily allowing you to be as fast as you could be moving forward. So really lean that head down. Ideally, I would like you to have you breathing with your head down, facing the bottom of the pool. As you can see throughout, especially on this angle coming up here, you're going to see you're looking straight towards the camera when you should be looking straight down towards the bottom of the pool. So we'd really want you to extend and press yourself, press your hips, press your chest down, allow your hips to ride, let yourself flow a lot more with each and every stroke. Looking at this angle, we also want to see what's happening with the chest. Is your chest driving below? Is your chest driving yourself down? In your case, if the chest is really staying on a level plane. We want to see more movement, pressing yourself forward, allowing yourself to really flow through and get a lot more out of each and every stroke. Also, this angle is great at finding your timing. Are you waiting for your feet to finish before you're taking the next stroke? When your feet are finished, your arms are out wide. It's slowing you down as you're pushing against the water. You want to hold that streamline until the feet finish, and then you're going to have a lot better breaststroke. You're going to get a lot more out of each and every stroke by holding on and waiting for the finish. And finally, moving on to freestyle. I like the big stroke. You could open up a little bit more, kind of leading forward with the hands. Allow yourself to open up, use more of that rotation, and let your recovery just happen rather than feeling like you have to place your hand in the water. High elbows are good, but we don't want to shorten up our stroke with high elbows. Allow yourself to be big and open. Reach out about a foot further with each and every stroke, allowing yourself to have more of an open stroke. I really like the rotation. You can see you're capable of getting a lot of power, but I suspect that there'll be a little bit of elbow dropping when we look at the underwater shot. But open up that stroke. Head is a little high. If again, the way you're looking, I can read your cap moving straight forward. You want to be pointing your eyes, looking straight down the bottom of the pool and letting your body rotate around the center. Now looking at this underwater shot, just as I expected, is that you're getting your hands are kind of pivoting straight into the water, and then the first thing is going back are your elbows. You want to drive those hands deeper with extended out further, drive the hands deeper, get the wrist up, then the elbow up, and hold on to that water as you press backwards. Okay, rather than dropping your elbows here and trying to pull with your arms down, because if you look at the palms of your hands, they're going to be facing the bottom of the pool, which isn't giving you the most power moving forward. We're going to lift those elbows up, lean those shoulders forward, get a lot more power out of each and every stroke, and use that powerful rotation to go back and forth and to hold on more water. Just as your backstroke, you extend that stroke out a little bit more so those bubbles dissipate off your hands. Now looking at the head-on shot, what we look here is that rotation, drawing that line straight down your body and seeing if you're rotating. And you can see good rotation, but I also see the hips sliding out and back and forth. Lock up your abs and hold on to that chest a little bit tighter so you can keep your body from shifting from side to side and more rotating around the center. As you slow it down, you can see a little bit more, and that's often caused by a little overreach on the entry. So by opening up that stroke, as we said before, that will eliminate that overreach, allow you to utilize that power of that rotation a little bit more, and of course keep that elbow up and be stronger with every stroke, and you're going to see yourself a lot faster. Thank you, Rachel, for coming to camp, and good luck with your upcoming season.